Well, I'm Lee Jenkins. I want to welcome you back to another lesson of manifesting results. You know, by now, from our last session, we learned about your mind and how it has led to manifesting the results you've been experiencing up until now. So, in this lesson, I'm going to help you understand how to turn the habits that are holding you back into the thoughts that will change your behavior. And the goal is to create new paradigms, and we're going to do it one habit at a time. So let's think for a moment. How do you know that a paradigm is the wrong one? How do you know they're not the right ones for you? Well, it can be actually quite simple. Just simply look at the results that you're getting. Are they positive? Are they really what you want? If not, then open your mind and look at this powerful way of creating more favorable results. So here's the question. Are you ready to make a big change in your life? Because if you are, then this is the lesson that will help you do exactly that. This lesson will show you how to step out and do the things you've always wanted to do. Now, I've been discussing a fair amount about paradigms. The paradigms control everything in our life. Paradigms dictate our logic. And well, logic keeps us locked into where we are right today. Now, as the paradigms change, well, your logic will change as well. Now, I've already mentioned that your paradigms controls your logic. So as we move forward, what we're going to learn is to change the paradigm. Now, this next part may appear somewhat illogical. It probably won't even make any sense in the beginning, but it will eventually. Now, with the encouragement of my mentor, I started doing this many, many years ago. I didn't understand what I was doing or why I was doing it. I didn't even understand why I kept doing it, yet I did because of the encouragement that I received. Uh, Now, think about it. It doesn't make any sense to read a book or study a program through the second time, or maybe the third time or fourth time. Or what about even like 100 times? You see, we've been programmed to read a book or study a program, and then you just kind of put it down and forget about it, right? After all, you read the book, can probably tell you what's in the book, certainly provide an outline of what it's all about, but we generally don't think about going back and studying it over and over and over again. But that's exactly what I did. Now, my original signed copy of the book is, well, it seemed to have gone missing. And I loaned the original video program to someone who, well, guess what? They never actually returned it. Now, obviously, I've replaced those. And the program in question is You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. Now, Bob spent many years putting this information together. Um, he was studying, many of the world's most effective individuals, especially people like Napoleon Hill, who wrote the classic Think and Grow Rich. Incredible book. Now, Bob's teachings hit me immediately. I was introduced to a brand new world of understanding. It was kind of like I had just found the Holy Grail. Now, it's helped me reach an understanding and awareness, well, I never thought was possible in the past. It helped me to become a happier person. I gained more energy and excitement towards life. And I gained friends from all over the world because of this teaching. I think it's a good idea if I just keep studying it. Don't you agree? Now, I know that perhaps it may not make a lot of sense. I know I've had people say to me, why do you keep studying the same thing over and over again? Well, for a long time, I really didn't know. I didn't know what the answer was to that question, but I was convinced that I needed to, though. I just kept studying it over and over and over again. I kept watching the videos over and over and over again. Now, like I've already said, I really didn't know why. The content on the videos didn't change, but you know what did change from the constant repetition of the information? It was me. I was changing my paradigms. This new understanding caused massive positive changes in my life, including achieving a certification from Bob Proctor himself. So this is what I want to teach you. I want to show you how to change the paradigms that may have been holding you back. So let's go back and think of what the paradigm is. Now, remember, I said when you arrived in this world, your conscious mind hadn't been formed yet. It was basically just your subconscious mind. And whatever was happening in your new environment was impressed directly into your subconscious mind as that little baby. And through repetition, these thoughts, ideas, and beliefs go directly into your subconscious mind. They become fixed in there. And that's how you learn. That's how you learn, for example, language. We're programmed to speak the language of those in our environment. Now, if you were born into a home that's bilingual, well, you might grow up and be bilingual. Think about it, there's all kinds of languages spoken all over the world. But you see, a baby, you don't have the ability to say, I can't or I don't want to learn that language. You just learn it. See, we're a product of our environment. There's no question about it. Now, when ideas enter your subconscious mind over and over and over again, they become fixed there. It's the fixed ideas that are controlling our behavior. See, we are literally programmed to live the way we're living. Now, the question is how do we change? Well, let's think it this way. The paradigm controls the behavior, right? And that behavior will produce a result. Now, I want you to take a look at results in your life, for example, a result that maybe you don't like. Now, understand that there's a law of opposites. Your results will either be negative or positive. And in fact, in some cases, they could actually be a little bit of both. Now, let's think for a moment. Let's imagine there's a negative with your current income. Let's just use that as an example. Perhaps you want to improve your income. You might say to yourself, well, I can't really change my income because the company dictates how much I earn. Well, this was an important lesson that I learned a long time ago. And what you want to understand is that your income does not come from your company. It comes through your company. It actually comes from one infinite source of supply, which, well, has many names, such as, well, some will say the universe, source, God. There are many, many more names. See, what happens is we just need to become aware of how to tap into it. So let's discuss how to do that. Know that when you change your behavior, say towards your income, for example, well, your income is going to change. So let's say that your current results are, well, let's just say the negative. Okay, well, here's what I want you to do. I want you to grab a pen and some paper and write down the income the way it is today. Now, it's important to understand that what you have written down here is going to be based on a graphic or written description of an idea regarding income that's been fixed into your subconscious mind. It's a paradigm. It's a current existing paradigm. Now, I want you to take another sheet of paper. Let's take another sheet of paper and let's turn to the positive side of everything. Write down how you would like your result to be. And write it in the present tense, as though it's today. It could be something like this. I'm so happy and grateful now that, and then fill in the blank. Finish the statement with the result that you actually want. Now, this could be in your sales, for example. Perhaps your sales aren't at the level you would like them to be. So start by writing down the sales the way they are today. Statements like, my sales go up and my sales go down. Or when I get started, I lose. I just can't seem to get past a certain point. Now, that's the negative side of it, right? Now, that might very well be the way it is for you at that moment. So write that down. You see, that becomes a written description of what's programmed in your paradigm. Now, let's grab that second piece of paper and write down the way we'd like our sales to be. Remember that you can replace sales with, well, any aspect in your life. It could be health, relationships, wealth, whatever, it doesn't matter. This will work with any change you would like to experience. But let's get back to that sales scenario for a moment. Start writing perhaps something like this. I am so happy and grateful now that effective leads flow to me on a continuous basis. My results are continually increasing. My sales are improving each and every day. I continue to become a more effective salesperson. Remember that this statement, which is referred to as an affirmation, should represent whatever you want, the results you want. Now, I want you to take that negative statement from that first sheet of paper and then literally burn it, set it on fire. That's been your habitual way of looking at your sales, the results. It's the results that you no longer want. Now, does that get rid of those habitual thoughts? No, it's really just symbolic. We're letting it go, leaving us with just that positive statement. Now, this is the part that can be illogical, right? We have the new positive statement written out. Now, all you do is sit down and write it out again and again, maybe 100 times every morning and 100 times every night. Perhaps make a recording of yourself repeating it over and over again. Now, I've heard a recording I learned from Bob Proctor with respect to money, and it goes like this. And again, I listen to it often. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continuous basis. I just keep repeating that. You see, it's the constant repetition of the new positive idea that will eventually take root in the subconscious mind. And it's going to gain strength. See, that original negative idea will become weaker from the lack of nurturing those old paradigms. And soon, well, guess what? The new positive ideas will gain strength and start to control your behavior in a new, more positive way, therefore leading you to the results that you actually want. Now, it's important to understand you should only work on one or two changes at a time. Now, you might think that you're going to change everything all at once now that you become more aware of this type of information, but you know what? Forget it. It's not going to happen. Understand, your paradigm is a multitude of habits. And what we want to work on is one or two habits at a time. Now, like I just said, your paradigms are a multitude of habits. It's a multitude of ideas that are fixed in your subconscious mind. Now, you may have inherited them at birth. You may receive them in your younger life. Doesn't matter how you got them. What matters is the fact is that they are actually there. If you want to know what your paradigm looked like, well, guess what? Just observe your behavior. Observe your results. That will tell you what's going on inside. Now, if you want to change it, you must change it the same way it was embedded in your subconscious mind. Understand, there are only two ways to fix an idea in a person's subconscious mind. And well, the first one is generally from some kind of a shock, perhaps a trauma of some kind. Now, this is often referred to as an emotional impact. Unfortunately, it's usually negative. It could be positive, but it is usually negative. Now, the second way is the constant spaced repetition of the new idea. Read the same information. Write the same positive statements. Listen or watch the same programs over and over again, perhaps for a month or two. Now, as I mentioned, it kind of defies logic, doesn't it? See, your logical mind will say that doesn't make any sense. But guess what? It makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense when you really understand how the mind works. Now, if you want to change your paradigm, you must observe a result that you don't want. Write it on a sheet of paper. Then take another sheet of paper and say, what would the polar opposite of that be? See, the universal law of polarity states that there can't be an in without an out, an up without a down, hot without a cold, positive without a negative. You see, everything has an opposite. So you can take a continuous result you don't like and write it out. Describe it in all negativity, all this negativity you can find, all the detail possible. Then take another sheet of paper and state what the exact opposite is of that and write that up. Like I said before, take and burn the negative one. Yes, I know it may seem foolish, but do it anyways. You're allowed to seem a little foolish at the moment. Burn it. Remember, it's only symbolic anyways. You're just letting it go. Then repeat to yourself, I'm going to rewrite my new positive statement every day 100 times. I'm going to keep repeating it. Yes, I know it will seem illogical. I know it may not happen in the beginning, but as you keep doing it, you will start to realize that it isn't so foolish after all. You will start to believe it. It will happen. And then you will start to witness it as well. Now, carry on. Carry on from that point and pick a couple more habits that you would like to see change and repeat that same process again. See, that's how paradigms are changed. Know that paradigms are nothing but a multitude of habits, and you can change them. Work on one or two at a time. You know what? If you do, I guarantee you will cause a change in your life. You will experience many things. It could become very dramatic, in fact, because your awareness is just going to continually expand. Just change paradigms one or two at a time. When you change the paradigm, you change the results in your life. Now, make no mistake about it. Every part of your life will benefit from this process. You will be amazed at the changes that you can make happen. Now, you can have a lot of fun with this if you want to. I encourage you, love what you do. Get excited about it. Get excited about change. Get excited about making things better in your life. Make up your mind that you're going to create and change the life to whatever it is you want. Spend as much time as you can on this. Ask yourself, what are some of my habits? What are some of the things I do habitually? Ask, how is it that way? How is that thinking going to serve me? If you do all this, I guarantee that once you start looking at your behavior, you'll be amazed at how much of it is really unconscious. No conscious thought given to it at all. So take your time with this new awareness. Have some fun with it. Break old habits and create new ones. Create habits that will, well, lead you to more positive results. Now, before I go, I would like to discuss this topic with you in person if you'd like. I encourage you to visit my website at leemjenkins.com. That's leemjenkins.com. And once you're there, you'll find a link that will allow you to sign up for a free breakthrough session with me. I understand there's no obligation, there's nothing to buy, so go ahead and pick a day and time that works for you. Now, again, the site is leemjenkins.com. Again, I encourage you to go there. I hope to see you again, and until next time, I wish you nothing but great success. I'm Lee Jenkins.